Brooke, thanks very much. Happening now, it's time for the Obama White House to panic. That's what CNN contributor, the Democratic strategist James Carville says. Stand by for his dire new warning for his party and his advice on how the president can turn things around. Also, my in-depth interviews with two of the Republicans who want the president's job. I'll speak live with both Mitt Romney and John Huntsman. We'll talk about the economy, national security, their takes on the red-hot rhetoric of the Republican frontrunner, Rick Perry, and new concerns that the FBI is teaching agents that even so-called mainstream Muslims, their words, are terrorist sympathizers. We're investigating the Bureau's training materials that may be making tensions with the Muslim community much worse. I'm Wolf Blitzer. You're in the Situation Room. It's one thing for Republicans to say President Obama's re-election campaign is in big trouble. It's another thing when a die-hard Democratic insider like James Carville says it. He has three words of advice today for the Obama White House to try to salvage the party's chances of victory in 2012. Those words: fire, indict, and fight. And James Carville is joining us now. James, you've created quite a stir in this article you've written for CNN.com. Let me read a couple lines, and then we'll discuss. Among other things, you say this: what should the White House do now? One word came to mind: panic. And then you went on to say, this is what I would say to President Barack Obama. The time has come to demand a plan of action that requires a complete change from the direction you are heading. All right, what are you talking about?
Well, simply this, but we lost two elections Tuesday night. We lost 65 elections first Tuesday in November. The economy sliding not sideways. If anything, is sliding back. Macroeconomic advisors say there's a one-third chance we're going into another recession. You look at how crazy the opposition party is, cheering death and everything else, and you say, hey, we got to change direction here. We got to do something different. This is not working, not politically, not economically, not anything. So bring in a new team and indicate to people that you get it. They understand that you were dealt a very tough hand, but you just keep playing the same hand over and over again. It's not working.
Because you have two specific recommendations in your CNN.com article: fire somebody, indict people. Let's talk about both.
Right.
What do you mean fire somebody? The president, who should he fire?
You know, look, when we lost all the seats in 1994, a lot of us got fired. I didn't have a consulting contract with the DNC. He made changes. That's what happens. That's what President Reagan did in 1980 when it wasn't starting out well. He fired John Sears and other people in his campaign. He talks about Lincoln. How many generals did Lincoln fire? Even Rumsfeld lost his job. The Republicans fired Newt Gingrich. When things are not going well, I'm sorry, that the coach, the manager, you know, we're both sports fans. You got to do something. You got to try to change direction here. And it just looks like the same people doing the same thing over and over again. And it's not working. And what I said on CNN has been repeated to me by Democrats all over the place. I feel guilty of, like, plagiarism almost. You talk to so many people that say the same thing. And I'm, you know, to some extent, these are my feelings, but they are feelings that many people, and many people who like this president, many people who really want him to succeed feel.
But he's not going to fire himself. He's not going to fire the vice president. So who does he fire? He's got a new chief of staff. Rahm Emanuel's gone. Well, he's got Bill Daley. Right. Who does he fire?
But he's got political advisors. He's got economic advisors. He's got cabinet members. I mean, I'm not privy on the inside to know, but some people have got to go. And it may be that they got to go unjustly, or maybe they're doing the best they can under the circumstances. That doesn't matter. You got to give people a signal out there that something's not working and you're trying something else. You're right. The president can't fire himself. He's not going to fire the vice president. But he's got to signal to people, I know that what we're doing here is causing a lot of hardship. We keep losing elections and we keep having the same people.
You want to name some names, James, who we should fire?
Well, I don't. You know what? I don't want to name names because for the simple reason is I'm not on the inside. I'm not privy to what's going on or who's giving what advice, but something is not going right.
I mean, what about Timothy Geithner, the Treasury Secretary? He's been there from day one.
Well, you know, certainly you know, supposedly you can't fire the Fed chairman, but, you know, who knows what? Maybe there's a deputy secretary. Maybe there's I have no idea, and that's really not what I'm trying to say. And I'm not trying to get into the details and some Bill Daley is a very, very, very good friend of mine, very nice guy. Somebody, somewhere, no, more than somebody. You know, I talked about the Battle of Stalingrad, whatever. I mean, I'm not certainly advocating this, but, you know, in a Tea Party drainage, Russian colonel in the 64th Division just started shooting every 10th person.
Well, with the exception
example,
of Timothy Geithner on the economic team, he has had a significant turnover over the past 2.5 years.
Well, people have left, but I think that the indication is that the policies would sort of stay the same, if you will. Turnover is one thing, but I think he's got to stand up and say it's not just the economic teams, it's other people too. You have to show that you are displeased with the direction that things are going in, and for whatever reason, the way that you do that is you fire people. And then everybody kind of gets the message.
What about indicting people? What do you mean by that he should start indicting people?
Well, we had the greatest, we had a period we're in a recession, and now the experts are saying as a result of the over-leveraged, speculative, irresponsible nature of American finance and the housing industry, we're going to have no job growth for 6 years. Somebody did something wrong here. I mean, this is not that hard to figure out, and we have. I don't think we've been near aggressive enough. And people around the country, you know, they know that Barack Obama didn't cause this. They're not blaming him for this. They know who caused this, and they know what caused it.
But if you're going to indict someone, James, if you're going to indict someone, they've got to be doing something that's allegedly criminal, not just stupid. Let's say.
Well, you know what? Well, I'm not the United States government. I'm not the Attorney General. I'm not the United States Attorney. I don't have the power to subpoena people. I don't have 100 wizard lawyers working in me. I'm not the Securities and Exchange Commission. I'm not all these people. But if, you know, anybody that doesn't believe, just go watch Charles Ferguson's movie, Inside Job. And you're going to tell me that somebody came in and wrecked an entire economy and no one's going to be held responsible for this? I don't buy that, and neither does anybody else. I mean, how would James Carville know it? You know, but we have people in place that are able to investigate this and pursue these kinds of things. And we haven't been very aggressive about this whole thing, and people understand this. Look at the havoc that has been wreaked in this country by this kind of massive irresponsibility. It's just unbelievable.
James Carville speaking his mind as he always does, but this time a little bit more forcefully than even usually. All right, James, thanks very much.
You bet.